And we are live. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another After Pill live stream. We're doing a late night stream tonight. We're doing a late night stream tonight. Make sure you go ahead and tap into the chat, tap into the chat, tap into the chat. Thursday night stream tonight. Corey says, yo, what's going on? What's going on? Moy tapping in. So we got some ninjas. We got some ninjas who are up. We got some ninjas who are up. Just came back from filming content. Shouts out to Moy. Moy over there putting in the work. Make sure y'all go. If you haven't already, make sure you go over there and check out Moy's channel. He over there going hard. Pause no Diddy. He over there going hard. He putting in that work. Let's get it. Make sure all my everything is good. Make sure my volume is good. Make sure my mic is good. Make sure everything is good to go. Jay, what's up? AP at work, working my main job overnight, which is pretty easy. Okay. He working the overnight. He working the dead shift. Jay working a dead shift. Yeah, those dead shifts are pretty easy, especially, if everything's smooth, you got some cool managers, right? Really, everybody for the dead shift, people don't really be trying to talk like that. People don't really be trying to talk like that on the dead shift. People come in and they trying to do the job and they trying to get the hell on. Right. I remember when I will work at the warehouse. I would work at the warehouse late at night. So actually around this time, sometimes I would go in, sometimes I go in around 6 or 7, then get off at midnight. Sometimes I'll pull a double, pick up an extra shift just to get those extra hours in. And that was like the second job. So I would work my main job in the morning from like 6 to 3. Then I go to the warehouse, FedEx, USPS, Ninja, UPS. I go over to the side hustle at night, work that for about 6 to 10, 6 to 11. If I really wanted to squeeze in some money, I go from 6 to maybe 12, 6 to 3 in the morning or something like that. Yeah. So Jay, yep, getting to the moolah. There we go. Let's see who's all answered. I know some ninjas up in the chat, and they ain't said nothing, but it's all good. So we got some people who voted already. How many men will be left behind in 5 to 10 years? Right? We have a quarter so far that says 35 to 50%. And we have 75% of y'all so far who said 50+%. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. People who are going to tune in. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and send out my notification. Because YouTube be tripping sometimes. Make sure y'all like the video. Send out my post real quick. So I guess, dang, what happened? I guess YouTube messing with me again because they're sending out notifications on the time. I'm even getting my notifications now. Right? I'm even getting my notifications now. Before they were playing with me. Before they were playing with me, they wasn't sending out notifications. But now I think YouTube kind of loving the after pill now. I guess, I guess they waking up and like, okay, he's doing a little something. I agree. I agree with this ninja. We're gonna go ahead and push him through the algorithm. I agree. But anyway, we're gonna review. We're gonna, we just chilling tonight, honestly. Coco, what's going on? He said, I'm driving. He said, I'm driving unless today. I'm driving unless today. I don't think that's what you meant to say. I think that was a typo. I think you meant to say something else. But anyway, we're gonna review a few videos. We're just chilling tonight. Nothing too crazy. We just sitting back, chilling, enjoying the night. It's a Thursday night. I treat Thursdays like the weekend, right? Weekends for me is like Thursday through Sunday, right? Thursday through Sunday. But we got a few videos that we're going to review, that we're going to go over, that we're going to talk about, get you guys' opinion on. Let me get to sharing the screen. Make sure you hit the, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you support the Patreon. Make sure you come over there and support the Patreon. The Book of Forbidden Knowledge is now available. We're on episode 3, episode 4, and so on is coming soon. If you want to see some of my older content, some of my old content, old live streams, more videos are coming off. So if you haven't seen some of my stuff yet, you better get to watching before I take it off of YouTube and put it over there on the Patreon. So sign up for the Book of Forbidden Knowledge if you want to build that mental tenacity. You want to build that confidence that you know that you need. You want to get an idea of the mindset that you need to build to make it in the new world, because the world is changing. The world is changing very rapidly, and you want to be prepared. So come over there, join the Book of Forbidden Knowledge. Not only will you get my old live stream, but you'll get the episodic program of the Book of Forbidden Knowledge. And I drop videos over there every single week. And locals is coming soon. Like I told y'all, we're gonna go crazy on the locals this weekend. I'm gonna be dropping videos over there on the weekend. So y'all better be prepared. Y'all better have a little change in y'all pocket. Y'all better have a little beer money, because that's all it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost you a little beer money to access those videos over there on the local. But make sure you hit that link in the description, that link pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you come on over to the Patreon. All right, let's get down to some of these videos. Where we at? Go ahead and hit that. So here's a video. Some of you may be familiar with these two. They're I forgot the name of their channel, or his channel per se. But oh, here it is. The Diary of a CEO podcast. So they're pretty big on YouTube, as you can see, 1.8 million followers on Instagram. So they're pretty big on YouTube. Make sure that y'all can see this. Okay, y'all good. But they're pretty big on YouTube. But essentially what the guy that he's interviewing is saying, that the bulk of men, a good bulk of men, an entire generation of men, we're losing an entire generation of men, right? Dr. K shares why so many men, young men, are falling behind, and it's deeper than just motivation or discipline. He says some men have attachment issues or social anxiety so severe that standard advice won't help. Others are held back by things they can't control, like face shape or confidence, right? Confident cues, and many are now entering their 30s. Many are now entering their 30s with no clear path to relationships, families, or purpose. Now that's deep. Let's go ahead and watch some of the video and see what they're actually talking about.
A whole generation of men that is like, we are literally watching them die out in real time. We've got 32-year-olds, 35-year-olds who do not have children, do not know how they're going to ever have children. Some people like, just put yourself out there, just work on yourself, and things will work out. But they have something in their makeup, something in their attachment style, something in their tendency for social anxiety that allows them to put forth effort and succeed. And then there are these other people over here who will go to therapy, who will work on themselves professionally, who will show up on dating apps. And because of the shape of their face, which cannot be fundamentally altered, or some other thing which they're not even aware of, there's this whole crop of people who I think are trying really hard. I don't think they're losers. I don't think they're like pathetic or anything like that. I think there's something about the architecture of how these people are built so that standard advice does not apply to them. I almost wonder, is there a mechanism in a human being that if your genes know they're dying out, what would they trigger in your mind? Right? And I think what they would trigger is exactly what we're seeing. This like existential panic, angst, even aggression, entitlement. Because if these men do not behave in this way, they're literally going to die out. There is a whole generation of men that is like we are.
What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? I'm a little bit on the fence. Let me get to Moy real quick. Moy says, I joined locals and started a community. Finally, shouts out to you. Tap to get content of yours. Do I have to buy coins? I am new to locals. I believe so. I believe with locals, I'm gonna check it out, but I believe so. You may have to buy coins to purchase, or it may be a direct purchase. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check it out and see. But I believe, yeah, you do have to buy coins. Um, Moy says, sounds like effing losers. That's what I think too. That's what I think. And as you can see from some of the comments here, listen, life doesn't owe you anything. You can do everything right and still not get what you want. The sooner you realize that, the better, right? The sooner you realize that, the better. See, we have a lot of we have a lot of men who are essentially helping men cope, right? Who are essentially helping men cope. I've seen guys who are uh if they didn't have money, would be at the bottom of the totem pole. I've seen guys with some pretty women, some beautiful women who, if not for what they have been able to create in their lives, Ninja, they wouldn't even be able to procreate. They wouldn't be able to procreate. But I feel like this video is kind of making an excuse for men to actually just be losers, right? He's making some kind of scientific explanation, as Ninja. He's making some scientific explanation on, yeah, this is the reason why. This is deeper than just the surface. This is the reason why they're losers. This is the reason why they can't do anything. This is the reason why. It's a scientific explanation because of their face shape and their face size, Ninja, that they can't rise and be anything in life. Ninja, don't you know the majority of men who've ever rose to any kind of prominence, don't you know most of these ninjas were not that desirable? Don't you know that most of these ninjas weren't dang on just chiseled and dang on look like Greek gods? Don't y'all understand that? Most men who rose and became something were not the best lookers, right? Just look around and just look at the people who, look at the men who are famous, right? Of course, you have exceptions to the rules. Men who are in the entertainment or in higher end spaces that look good. Of course, you got exceptions to the rules, but look around. Look at some of these athletes, Ninja. Look at some of the entertainers. Look at some of the rappers. Look at some of the actors. Right. Look at going to a bank and speak to one of the executives. Right. Go to the corporate office and talk to one of the managers, one of the managing partners. Ninja. These ninjas be plain Jane nothing. Plain Jane nothing. But guess what they have on their side though? If they do choose to go that route, they definitely have a nice piece of ass on their side. They definitely, bro, if you got money, you're going to be able to procreate. See, this is the thing. Men are basing their whole lives, just on women, period. They're basing their whole existence on women, and that's the problem. That's part of my issue. I'm a perfectionist. I couldn't think of final outcomes being exactly how I want them to be. I'm in a real flow state. Yeah, for guys who suffer from, just wanting everything to be right, yeah, that can be a problem. I would say, I want to say I used to suffer from that, but now I've kind of, even myself got into the flow of things. I always wanted to wait on the perfect moment, right? I was always looking for the perfect moment. Oh, I gotta get this, especially when I first started this YouTube journey, right? I had to get this camera. Or, no, I have to get this camera because, this is the camera that's gonna look like this. I don't want that camera. It looks cheap, but I mean, yeah, it works and it can do the job. But no, I gotta wait. I gotta save up to do this one, right? I gotta save up. Shouts out to Moy with the super chat. Send these lame nerds to Mars. Shouts out to Moy. But I always wanted to wait on the perfect time, right? I'll just wait a few months so I can save up and get this camera. or I just wait until I can get this. I wait till I can get that, right? Or, oh, I don't know what to talk about, right? I'll just wait until, something pop up in my head. There's never going to be a perfect moment. And that's what I had to learn. That's why sometimes I just film on the fly. As soon as an idea pop up in my head, okay, let's turn on this camera, right? If I'm in the gym, let's get it. Like it does not matter. More going in on the losers over there. I hate all of these losers. Yeah, this is the welcome to, I don't know which ocracy we're in now. It's so many. Welcome to the idiocracy ninja. Welcome to the corporatocracy ninja. Welcome to the simpocracy ninja. Uh ninja, this is the rise of the losers, the revenge of the losers ninja. Like, yeah, we all over the place. We all over the place. And I mean, what is there to do? What is there to do when you have so many men? Let's see how many people voted now. Let's see how many people voted so far now. So even the people in the chat, y'all understand. See, now we got 83%. We have 83% that are saying 50% plus of men will be left behind in 5 to 10 years. Man, everything is changing so rapidly. The world is not going to look, the world is going to look drastically different in the next 5 to 10 years. The world is going to look drastically different in 5 to 10 years. And the crazy part is that most people are not prepared for it. Most people are not prepared for what is to come. Many people are not prepared that the economy is going to get absolutely eradicated. That the economy that today is going to be a complete shift in everything that is already happening right below our feet. And if you're not in tune you're not in tune to what's going on, listen, you're gonna get left behind. I'm actually part of the book of forbidden knowledge. I'm actually do a video on some of the things that I've been doing, some of the things that I've been trying, right? I've been practicing developing applications and things of that nature, right? With some AI apps that allows you to create applications just from an idea in itself, right? It'll create you the whole app, complete functional, front end, back end, right? You can come up with a complete money maker. You can come up with a complete money maker, right? And I just came across it 2 weeks ago, and I was experimenting with it, right? And I created a whole app. I created a whole application, completely functional, right? Front end, back end, everything works exactly how it's supposed to. I use Chat GBT. I use Chat GBT to be able to get everything out of my head onto paper, right? Tell it exactly what functionalities I want it to have, what I want the front end to look like, what I want the back end to look like, how I want it to operate, customer facing. Jesus Christ, it is crazy. It's crazy. And I'm putting it on the Patreon. I'm not giving y'all ninjas nothing for free anymore, right? Because I've been telling y'all, I've been communicating some of this stuff for the past 6 months to a year now. 6 months to a year. Moy says, was it famous AI? No, it wasn't famous AI, but it could be a couple of them on the market now. But I'm not gonna release the name over here. I'm not gonna release the name over here. I'm gonna put it over there. See, you said you built two apps in the past and it cost me 20 grand. See, that is being completely eradicated. No longer. No longer. The middleman is being eradicated. All of the engineers that it used to take to build an app, because I had big aspirations to build an app, but then when I start seeing how much it cost, I'm like, dang, I gotta get here before I can even think about building an app out like this. But now, completely done. Completely done. It'll cost you anywhere from now, and it's just you just pay the subscription, and the AI app does all the work for you. You're gonna pay anywhere. It goes from 20 grand to now you're gonna pay anywhere between $200 to $300 to $1,000, right? Depending on how complex you want the functionalities to be, right? What it does, what's your market, who are you trying to target? So you're gonna pay anywhere between $200 to $1,000 per month for that subscription. right? And then you can also make money off of it. You can, we're gonna go over it. If you're not on Patreon, too bad. I'm probably release a little snippet when I get done with the video, but it's going over to the Patreon. So if you're not in tune with the Patreon, you want to get your mindset right, patreon.com, the after pill. Patreon.com, the after pill. Also, you want to book coaching calls, hit that link pinned to the top of the chat. Right. But you can come up, you can do anything you want to now. Right. This is what I meant. I've been telling you guys, this is what I meant. What's going to happen is a lot of people are going to get rich. A lot of people are going to get rich. Right. A lot of peasants, and hear me out. A lot of peasants are going to get rich. A lot of them. A lot of peasants who are in tune with what's going on and this new shift in the economy. See, you got to pay attention because you can miss generational things, right? You can miss generational situations. So right now, the next generational swing is AI, right? The next generational swing is AI. And of course, we still have crypto. We still have utility coins, which we're still waiting to see how regulation ends up. We're still waiting to see how everything ends up in that space of things. Regulation is still not clear with crypto, but two definite things. It's going to be AI and it's going to be crypto, right? Crypto is still brand spanking new. Crypto is a newborn baby still. AI is even more of an infant, right? If you're not in tuned with AI and crypto right now, you're going to get left behind because the world is moving digital. That includes the economy, that includes money, currency, trade, right? The way that we do things, everything is moving digital and everything is moving into AI and robotics. So I just gave y'all two right there. And I released a video months ago on a few crypto currencies, utility coins that actually took off. And I put in the post how much you could have made if you would have listened to me right when I said it. If you would have listened to me right when I said it, then you would have been up a substantial amount of money. Could have boom, closed out on profit or reinvested profit, took profit out, reinvested some of it, then boom. Get a downturn in the market, boom, buy some more when it's in red, boom, when it go back up, boom. But we're going to talk about some more of that on Patreon though. On Patreon. But there's a lot of things there's a lot of things going on, and not just men. Most people are going to get left behind. Most people are going to get left behind. And just like the video was saying, there's a lot of men who are just going to completely die out. There's a lot of men who are just going to die out. Right? Not be and truth be told, we're moving into the future, but when it comes to how men were able to survive and how biology actually worked, in that case, we're moving backwards. We're actually going back to how ancient times actually worked, right? When it comes to that nature of it, right? The majority of men didn't get to reproduce in ancient times. The majority of men did not get to reproduce in ancient times. The majority of men didn't even get to touch a woman. Right? They're not there weren't even there. They didn't even get to touch a woman. Uncut Underground, you said your grandchildren are going to hate you for being distracted by trending topics. What does that mean? But this is what's happening. So now we're moving into a futuristic time period. Guess what? Uh, the use case for men, the use case for what it used to be for men is no longer. So We no longer and I still see, these red pill talking points. Yeah, they need men. That what they're gonna do when the water shut off. Ninja, they got they got machinery for that, ninja. They push buttons for that, ninja. Come on now. What they gonna do when they need an electrician, ninja? Ninja, okay. Okay, ninja. They call the electrician, ninja. What they gonna do if men just stop working? Men are not gonna stop working, ninja. Ninja, you think all men are just on your page? No, ninja. All men are not on your page. They're not. What they what they gonna do if all men just start working today, ninja? Have you not seen the statistics, ninja? You have around 30% of young men who are not even in the workforce right now, ninja. It's already happening. It's already happening. Well, what they gonna do, ninja? Just shut up, ninja. Just shut up. Ninja, just understand, ninja, it's done. The use case for men is over, right? Men already built everything up. Society has already built everything up, right? As far as machinery, men have already built machinery up to do its own thing. AI eventually is going to do its own thing. Technology is eventually going to do its own thing. Sure, yeah, you may have a few overlords, ninja. You may have a few overlords that look everything over, but besides that, I mean, bro, the use case for men is over. Y'all gotta accept that. Josh French said it's literally over. Y'all have to accept that. I've accepted that. You got to get in where you fit in, right? As long as you are resourceful, as long as you are resourceful and can build and be productive, right? The world will let you know that they need you, not just women. The world is going to let you know that they need you. Your local community is going to let you know that they need you, right? You don't have to be a world renowned dang on star to just to be, successful, right? You can be somebody who came up with something that benefits your local community, right? Maybe you own 3 to 5 acres on your land. You decided that you wanted to grow a certain kind of crop, right? And now the town they feed the local elementary school with the apples that you grow on your land. And you don't know what you can do. Moy says these lazy ass dudes deserve to get wins and be champions. They are lazy. Oh, they don't deserve to get wins and be champions. They are lazy. They're extremely lazy, right? People wanna sit back. Men want to sit back and just cry and yeah, they no longer need us, man. They no longer need us. Yeah, okay. Insecure ass ninjas, boo hoo ass ninjas. So what? Dominate anyway. But like I've said before, many men can't fathom just that the world that they were led to believe, the world that they were raised to believe in, right? Even for the conservatives, shouts out to the conservatives, right? The world that you were raised to believe, that traditional world is no longer here. It's no longer here. Y'all gonna die on that hill. Women are freer than ever. They can do whatever they want to. Shouts out to Matt Walsh. They can do whatever they want to, right? I mean, Ninja's like, yeah, we're gonna take back and Ninja. You're not gonna take back anything. I don't know why people keep saying that. Most people are too poor to rebel. Most people are dealing with daily stressors. Most people are on drugs, alcohol, doped up, stressed beyond their mind, stressed beyond their limits, living paycheck to paycheck. There won't be a revolt. They've already weakened people. It's not gonna happen. At most, you'll get a little bit of chaos here and there, right? Because that's what peasants do. They cause chaos with no plans, right? Ninja, this ain't 1776. This ain't taxation without representation, and ninja start throwing dang on barrels out into the ocean. Ninja, ninja ain't about to do nothing. They ain't about to do a dang on thing. They'll send a National Guard and a Marine so damn quick your head gonna start spinning. Shit, they may not even do that. You just gonna feel some heat. You just gonna feel a heat beam coming out the sky, ninja. What is that? You just gonna hear a sound beam coming out of the middle of nowhere, ninja. Ah, scattering you ninjas like roaches. Bro, if the government really felt like citizens were a threat, they have weapons for you ninjas. I don't know why people think that they just, yeah, we got guns and we gonna rise. Okay, all right, ninja. If you say so, they got some shit that they don't even have to put troops on the ground. They let a little bit of things slide here and there just so it can look like they give you ninjas a little bit of hope. They give you ninjas a what if situation, right? They make it just a little bit. They don't want to take complete hope away. They give you ninjas just a little hope. Well, maybe, if we still got our guns. We don't let them take our guns away. We don't let them take our guns away. We still got our guns. So, the chance of revolting, we still can revolt if we want to. Yeah, they give you ninjas a little glimmer of hope. But if they really wanted to, ninja, come on now. Tap today, white nationalists got mad at me that I date snow bunnies and defending a guy online who is black and just married a hot snow bunny. That stuff is like it's so prehistoric, ninja. It is so dinosaur. Like things like that. It's just like I can't even. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not even worth my brain space, ninja. It's not even worth my brain space because it's like, bro, this is 2025, ninja. Most of you ninjas are not even purebred anything. Yeah, a lot of men are insecure. Most, if you're American, let me tell you something. The chances are that you're not really pure anything. Some of you may be, some of you may have some linkage, some pure linkage somewhere, but most Americans are not pure anything. Are not pure anything. Uh, and to see, here's my thing. Here's my take before I jump on to another video. Um, true. Here's my thing. White men who truly feel superior, white men who truly feel superior don't view anybody else as a threat. In 2025, white men who truly feel superior don't view anybody as a threat. Your 6'5", blue-eyed Chad, CEO, finance, right? Entrepreneur, doing his thing, chiseled, jawline, looking like Super Chad or Giga Chad. Them ninjas can get the best of the best white girls, right? They're at the top of the genetic pool. Y'all get where I'm going with this? The top of the genetic pool, white guys don't have to worry about anybody else because they get top of the gene pool, top of the line white women within their race. And that's the same thing that goes with any race, right? If you're black and you're the top of the gene pool, guess what? You're gonna have, and then with Giga Chad, with Chad, top of the gene pool, he's not just gonna have white women to choose from. He's gonna have every woman to choose from because he's top of the gene pool. The same goes with black men. If you're top of the gene pool, you're gonna have your pick of the litter, not just with black women. You're gonna have your pick of the litter with all other women. Because why? You're top of the gene pool. If you're top of the gene pool, of course, a white woman may would want you because you are top of the gene pool. You're 6 foot plus, chiseled. You're resourceful. You have money, so you can provide for a family or what have you. So of course, she'll choose this guy as well. Same thing if you're Latino, right? I know a lot of you ninjas short. Shouts out to the Latinos, but if you're top of the gene pool, if you're top of the gene pool Latino, guess what? You have your pick of the litter, not just with Latinas. You have your pick of the litter with every other race of woman. So my thing is the pushback I see with that kind of stuff are men at the bottom of the gene pool. So usually what I see the incels, right? When you even when you talk about forms of racism, right? That thing usually not saying not all the time, but usually that is coming from the bottom of the gene pool. If I'm from if I am at the bottom of the gene pool, ninja, I'm 5'5", 5'6", right? 4 inches, Peter Whacker, ninja, and my breath smell like fungus, and my teeth are crooked, and I work at Wally World. Of course, if I see a 6'2", 6'3" black guy walking down the street with a blonde hair, blue eyes, yeah, I'm gonna blow a gasket too. I'm gonna blow a damn gasket. The same way of if black guys do it. You see a nice looking Chad walking down the street with a big booty queen ninja walking down the street with Ebonisha, right? She looking good, chocolate glistening in the sunlight, ninja, right? If you are 5'6", 5'7", right? Ugly duckling, ninja, right? You got scars on your skin, and you work at Kroger, ninja. You work at HEB. Yeah, I'll blow a gasket too. I'll blow a gasket too. But that kind of stuff is below my frequency. I don't really care. Um, it's funny to me, right? Because with me, I mean, I can get pretty much any race of women. I have no issue with any race of women, right? I've gotten that validation already. So, it is what it is. But what would what could somebody else even say, ninja? Look at you and look at me. Be realistic. Who you think they would choose? Ninja, I've had a dude sit right in here and tell me that he told me I was sitting at Twin Peaks one day. Shouts out to Moy. I am not an insecure man, so all of this is new to me. Yeah, you would see. I'm younger than you, so I've had to adapt to this pretty recently. So I thought dudes was just years ago, me just being young minded. I'm thinking just dudes are just solid, just in general. I wasn't thinking about dudes' height, right? I wasn't thinking about dudes' looks. Like I wasn't thinking about all this stuff. I'm just thinking that dudes are just solid. It doesn't matter what you look like, race, ethnicity, tall, short, right? I wasn't thinking about that. It is the insecure men, the lesser than men who forced me to think about these things. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's going on, right? These ninjas are insecure. These ninjas are jealous. They're envious, right? Especially in the workplace, right? Especially in the workplace. I remember this one time, man. True story. True story. It was this white guy. Shouts out to the Brads and everybody else in the chat. This ain't no shot or anything, but it is what it is. Uh, it was this white coworker of mine's, right? And I'm just being me, man. I'm just being me, right? and it was this fine, white girl that walked in, blondie, right? Blue eyes, petite, in shape. She had her little what you call those, her little stretchy pants on, right? Had a little stretchy pants on, looked like she just came from working out that morning, right? Um, she had walked in, right? She had walked in, and we both had seen her. We both had seen her, and she had walked in, and we both had said hello, right? We both had said hello, and she straight up just gawked at me. She pretty much like, he said hey and I said hey, but she didn't focus on the hey that he said. She focused on the hey that I said. And she just struck up the conversation with me. She was just like, oh, like, hey, I've never seen you, never seen you coming to the store, and just going on and on. And we just striking up conversation, and he just standing there. She didn't even acknowledge this dude. She didn't even acknowledge this dude. And we just sitting there having a conversation, like, yeah, I just came back. I just came back from working out. And yeah, I'm over here all the time. Yeah, yeah. What's your name? Yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you when I see you. Blah, 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 blah. And when I tell you, this dude was fucking living. This dude was livid, ninja. And mind you, like, first of all, I'm young, in shape, tall, like he's shorter, fat, like a little bit on the older side. And I'm like, bro, like I'm talking about he's heated. I'm like, bro, it's 2025, bro. If it doesn't matter what race of woman, she's gonna choose. I've seen black chicks. I've seen black chicks overlook me and go for a white dude. I'm like, okay, cool. She found him highly attractive. She's seen something in him. Okay, cool. Right. It's like, bro, what are we doing out here, man? Then just be so focused on the wrong thing. I can't, bro. I can't, bro. If your mind is still stuck in why a white woman is choosing a top of the line black dude, then I can't help you. Or if she's choosing whoever she want to. You ninjas don't own nobody. Let me tell you something. Black dudes, you don't own black woman. White dudes, you don't own white woman. Latino dudes, you don't own Latino woman. None of you ninjas, Asian dudes, y'all don't own Asian women. None of you dudes own these chicks. They gonna go for who they go for. Ninja, what y'all think this is? What y'all think this is? Rap says I'm too conservative and manly for all the liberal women. Yeah, that can be a thing. That can be a thing. I mean, it kind of is what it is. The problem is that, I mean, a lot of men are conservative by default, usually. And nowadays, most of the women, I would say 80%, 80% of the women are by default liberal. And a lot of men and a lot of men are even switching up. A lot of men are switching up, right? Because it's like most of the, if most of the women are liberal, right? And I've seen this in real life. I've seen videos on this, right? Actually, here goes a video right here. Here goes a video right here that I'm a review. Just when you said that, that's funny as hell. Just when you said that, but a lot of the hot women, you know, you can admit this or not admit it, but a lot of the hotter women are absolutely liberal. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If most of the conservative, bro, most of the conservative women with conservative men are not. They're not it. They're not it. Show me an eight. Show me an eight who's conservative. Hell, even show me a six who's truly conservative. You're not going to be able to find it. Show me an eight. Talk to an eight. Talk to an 8. But see, here's that's a myth. To me, that's a myth now. Dyed hair, hats, and piercing, that's a myth. Bro, I've seen plain Janes. I've seen plain Janes, no piercings, no, none of that dyed hair shit. Right. Clearly, if she, dyed hair, that's the clear staple of a libtard. We get it. But if you actually sat down and talked to a lot of these women, bro, I've seen women with no tats, no piercings, completely liberal. If you ask me, the majority of the women that I've come across who are liberal don't have a bunch of piercings and tattoos. Between the ages of 18 to around 28, or we're just going to say 18 to 30 just for numbers sake. The majority of the women that I've come across do not have dyed hair, right? Do not have a bunch of tattoos, don't have a bunch of piercings. That's like a conservative like staple, like yeah, dyed hair and piercings and stuff like that. But no, the majority of these girls who are actually liberal, they don't have all that stuff. They're plain Jane. Just have a conversation with them. Have a conversation. You won't know until they open their mouth. But here's the video just for the sake of that conversation right here. Let's put that up on the screen real quick. It's funny that you say that because here we go right here.
Men are not attracted to MAGA women, and that's why the uniformity exists in the MAGA women culture. That's why their clothes, their hair, their makeup, their cars, their music, their food, even down to their body sense, all are very similar. It's because they know that their subserviency is what keeps them, in play, keeps them in the game of marriage, of wifeness, of life, whatever it is to them. But MAGA men, if they are not attracted to men, they are overwhelmingly attracted to alternative women. And I say that as somebody who used to be in MAGA and as a bartender here in the South. MAGA men love alt women. They love chubbier women. They love women with yitties. They love women with thighs. They love the tattoos. They love the piercings. They love the hair. Most MAGA men are not attracted to the women that they have children and, spend the rest of their life with. They are attracted to the subservientness. And this creator that I'm going to tag underneath has done a really great job of clocking the amount of young MAGA men that have been in alternative spaces lately, hitting on women. And it's just, it's just very much a full circle moment because I've been trying to talk about this forever. And everybody who just wants to say, oh, you're being mean to women. No, these women have designed themselves to be in this certain situation. Therefore, that's the world that they live in. And, criticism is not always a bad thing. MAGA men are not attracted to MAGA women. And that's why the uniformity.
And there we have it. There we have it. There we have it. Listen, she said it. I didn't. Listen, I've long said that, listen, the conservatives, the libtards, right? Everybody, there's hypocrisy in all of this stuff, right? The conservatives are pretty much, especially men, they're pretty much, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. And this is exactly what I was just speaking on, right? Many young, especially young conservative men, usually the millennials they've already been married and divorced already. Gen X, they already 20 years in, it is what it is, right? But for the younger conservative men, they've been switching their profile or political stance just to get dates. This has been a known fact. Conservative men have been switching their political stance on paper or on their dating profile, or have been lying to women to tell them, yeah, I voted this way, or I believe in this. They've been lying just to get in relationships with these women. Why is that? Well, because many of the quote unquote basically sold their souls, but many of the conservative women, they're usually not on the attractive end. And I'm talking about real conservative. I'm not talking about fake conservatives, right? Because there's a lot of women out here faking the funk. Yes, that is happening. You have a lot of women who are faking the conservative card, the trad wife card, just so they can get picked by some of these men. And they will get married, they will have children, but on the low, a lot of these women are liberals. A lot of these women are liberals, especially when we're talking about white women in today's day and age, right? A lot of them are undercover. A lot of them are undercover feminists, right? A lot of them are undercover feminists. You forgot who pushed the whole feminist movement, right? White women pushed the whole feminist movement. They got black women to back them, because they knew the only way to really push this through is to get black women to back them, especially after the civil rights movement, right? So they got black women to back them, right? Black women they had already left their men for Uncle Sam. So white woman was like, yeah, we're trying to we want to be somewhat like that. So they got black women to back them and full force push that whole feminist movement into the West, right? And these were women who had families. These were women who had husbands. These were women who stayed at home. These are women who believed in the good old Christian value system, right? These were the women who pushed that, right? They pushed that. But then, they see white women, they like to back away when they can. So one thing white women will do is they will go back to the white man. They will go back onto the umbrella of the system of the patriarchy when it best suits them, right? When it best suits them, until they can get until listen, man, until they can actually get completely far away from the umbrella, which they're already doing, right? Women across every background is doing that now. But until they can get far away from the umbrella of the patriarchy, they will run back to that. They will get married. They will say what needs to be said. They will be undercover feminists, but act like they lean on the conservative side. Right? Come on now. Y'all better pay attention. Rap said especially fourth wave feminism. Moore says my sister's whores, my mother whore, my aunt's whores, and they all aristocratic, LOL, but post 1960, all women are whores in America. Exactly. And they'll fake the funk. They'll fake the whole trad wife shit. Bro, you got some of not even some. A lot of these women who are married to a lot of these conservatives, they hate their husbands. They hate their husbands. They're there because it best suits them at that moment, right? A lot of them, they're just waiting on these ninjas to die. Bro, I've heard so many conversations, man. I've heard many conversations, but it is what it is. A lot of men are still buying into this stuff. I don't buy into none of this. There are very few true conservative women out here. There are very few truly conservative women out here, right? So y'all gotta be on your P's and Q's. I gotta be on your P's and Q's because it is easy to get tricked out here. And it's always going to be your fault. Everything that is happening is your fault. But then you got to realize too, you have men who are pushing, you got men who are pushing this too. It's not even just the women who are pushing it. Welcome to the hypocrisy. It's not just men who are pushing it. I mean, it's not just women who are pushing it, right? It's not just the women who are pushing it. Check this out, right? I got two videos for y'all on this topic. Make sure y'all sign up for the Patreon. Hit that link pinned to the top of the chat. I got two videos for y'all that explain this. Let me go to this one.
Well, I think the problem with dating today is that the top 20% of men are getting all the matches on the dating apps. No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. The problem with dating is patriarchy. Patriarchy has destroyed the trust between men and women. That is what is wrong with dating right now. Have you ever seen a gay man use a dating app? Oh, let me tell you. High success rate. High success rate. Why? Because men are not afraid of men. Women are afraid of men. That is the problem right now. And until you can figure out how to behave in a way, how to speak in a way that makes women feel safe, you are doomed to fail. I promise you, you will always be doomed to fail. Well, I think the problem with dating today is that the top 20% of men are getting all the matches on the dating apps. No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. The problem with dating is patriarchy. Patriarchy has destroyed the trust between men and women. That is what is wrong with dating right now. Have you ever seen a gay man use a dating app? Oh, let me tell you. High success rate. High success rate. Why? Because men are not afraid of men. Women are afraid of men. That is the problem right now. And until you can figure out how to behave in a way, how to speak in a way that makes women feel safe, you are doomed to fail. I promise you, you will always be doomed to fail. Well, I think the problem with dating...
Listen, man. Boy, you crazy. Boy says, Tap, come on now. Why you have this fruit cake? Listen, listen. I'm just telling it, this is what's going on. I'm just reporting the news, Ninja. TC Prime in the chat. What's going on? Said this guy blames the world for all his problems. He thinks being cake for a woman is going to get him pee. What a lame. And you know what? You know the crazy thing is nowadays, and I hate to say this, Prime. I hate to say this. It might just get him to pee. I hate to say this, but what I've been seeing out here, Ninja, it might just get. If you've seen my other videos, I've been on my talking about these losers lately. And how women, when I was talking to a chick and she basically admitted that her dude is a loser, right? But she claims to be happy and, you know, she loves him and all of this stuff. And I literally told her, I was like, so why you can do better. So why not do better? And she was just like, well, I've dealt with men, who lean on a more masculine, and I've dealt with men with money and they just made me feel insecure. I've had a few that call me a gold digger, and I just didn't like how they made me feel. I didn't like having, the money over my head and all of that stuff. This is what she said. And I was like, and I literally broke it down in real time. I was like, so basically what you're telling me is, I was like, correct me if I'm wrong, because it seems to be a trend now. I was like, are a lot of women getting with loser men just so they can hold that power, just so they don't have to give up power, just so they can have a man in their corner, right, to praise them and hold them on a pedestal? And she clearly, she said, yeah. She said, that's actually a good point. And she said, yes. She said, yes. So, Prime, I think it just might get this ninja to pee, to be honest with you. Shouts out to Moy with the super chat. He said, F these J ninjas losers out here, man. Yeah, they out here. They out here full of, but look at the comments. Look at the comments. Right? Whoa, I am a college professor and teach an introduction. They always got to lead with this. And I teach an introduction to women's and gender studies course. My students are all bummed out these days. We'll be showing this in class. So she's going to show this in class in a college. Come on now, public indoctrination camps. Some guys get it. They need to know. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? And we got some guys in here that says, look, one guy said, so they're hooking up with the top 20% because they're scared of men? Question mark. Exactly. Here we go. Men also see other men as people, right? So we don't see women as people, I guess. We don't see women as people, I guess. I don't know where they got that from. Right? Where else we got? We got one girl says, the minute Your Body, My Choice started trending, I knew we were entering into a dark era. There we go. Here we go. Too many men care only about controlling women, not protecting them, and think affection is gay. Right? Here we go. The problem is that most men become highly sexual before even meeting the woman they match with. It's been eye-opening to see how many men don't even see us as people, just warm hoes. well, I hate to tell you, but I hate to tell you, but yeah. Here we go. I'd rather be alone for the rest of my life than let another man step on my neck. There we go, right there. There we go. See, it's no fighting this, man. There's no fighting this. I don't know what you ninjas want to do. They're just trying to revolt and rise up. I mean, that's all that's out here. And we got another one. Where he at? Here we go.
Gentlemen to the front, especially DMV men.
And he's not. This guy married right here.
Me and my wife have been outside this summer. Karaoke's, happy hours, brunches, you name it, we've been there. And me and her come to the same conclusion. That it's nothing but women outside. Man, where y'all at? I mean, I get it. Drink prices are high. Women have unrealistic expectations of what they want from a man. I mean, some of their egos are on Beyonce and they should be on Rashida. I get it. And I understand that maybe Unc and them really haven't taught you how to speak to women. I get that. But it should not be this bad where it's like damn near 20-1. And maybe it's just me being old school. I wanted to be where the women were, especially the beautiful ones. And they have been there and y'all have not. Ladies, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. It's not looking good out there. And may the Lord be with you in your journey. Gentlemen to the front, especially DMV.
Boy, you crazy for that one. Yeah, make sure y'all go and subscribe. Make sure y'all go and subscribe over there to TC Prime, man. More crazy. He said that lisps. Yeah, he you know, yeah. Shit, who knows, Ninja? Who knows? But anyway, you done distracted me all the way. Hell no, that was funny. But you see dude over there who, you know, is clearly play for the other team. You got dude right here. He may be DL, whatever. But he say he married. They're pushing this whole, you know, it's men's fault. It's classic. The classic. It was the patriarchy, all of that stuff. Just classic. Just classic stuff. Men are not outside because one, you know, may the Lord be with you. I'm dead. But men are not outside because one we have a good portion of men who are losers, right? So I would say upwards to probably like 30 to 40% of men right now are absolute losers, right? Not doing nothing. Somebody put it in a chat a minute ago when it's a neat. That's what it is. Neat. Not employed, not employed or something. Whatever a neat is, not employed in society or something like that, not doing anything, right? So you got a good portion of men who are neats, right? Then you got a other portion of men who they're grinding their ass off, right? Trying to keep up with the cost of living, trying to keep up with society, right? Can't afford to be paying $100, $200 dates every time they want to go on a date, right? So you got these men who, you know, they trying to pave their way out. Then you got another group of men, right, who can just play with whoever they can afford. They can afford the JUCO. They can afford a $200 date, right? They can afford to settle down if they wanted to, But you have three groups of guys, which the large portion of them being in the last two categories, the bottom two categories, either they're a loser or they're trying to grind themselves out. Whether if they make it, who knows? So the bottom 70%, the bottom 80% are either grinding it out or losers. Right. And it's only the top 20% who are really like outside like that. Now you got your peasants who come outside and they spend up the last few dollars that they got, right? They go to peasant places like, uh low end clubs, right? Where they shoot shit up and all that stuff at, right? They do stuff like that, right? Yep, not employed, education or training. So they're not doing anything. So yeah, so they're basically keyboard warriors, basement dwellers, oxygen thieves, NPCs, them ninjas, right? Not doing anything, right? And that's just what that's just where the world is right now. There's a lot of men who are just not they're just not going to make it. They're just not going to make it. Peasant places, but a lot of men are just not going to make it. There is no stopping this train, right? There is no stopping this train. I don't care if it's your boy Trump in office. I don't care if it was Scamala, Ninja. I don't care who it is or who it was or who is to come. It's not happening. Not happening at all. Right here. And here we go right here. Here we go right here. Let me put this up on the screen. I need to put this in a community post right here. So they calling them Zoomers. I don't know if this is Gen Z or if this is the generation after Gen Z, but somebody will let me know. So Zoomers are massively getting hooked on bed rotting, lying in bed with the phone for hours without getting up or doing anything at all. Doctors say it is not procrastination, but rather a way to relieve stress and burnout, while psychologists call it passive self-regulation, the brain's way of dampening anxiety and internal pressure, right? There we go. So they said it right here. Looks like our usual excuses now have a scientific name. Yep, just like the first video I showed. Trying to make it a scientific issue, trying to make it a psychological issue, right? So you got people, and this is happening. This is why a large portion of men are not. Listen, when I tell you a lot of men are just gonna die out, bro, it is what it is, right? At this point, do I even care? No. If you want help, you're gonna go get it. If you want help, you're gonna go get it. And it ain't for free, Ninja. Right? I give enough knowledge. I give enough knowledge on YouTube as it is, opening up people's minds. I've opened up, I get emails all the time. I get emails all the time from guys telling me like, dang, I never thought about it this way, or dang, I appreciate the video that you did, a week ago. Right. I appreciate that video that you did on your job, your problems that you were having with your manager, problems that you was having with your job. Right. You open up my mind to a lot of things. Right. I get emails like that all the time. Dudes telling me, hey, thank you. Right. Keep going. Right. That message, we need that message out here. Right. So I've given out a lot of knowledge, just plain Jane. Damian Pottinger, shouts out to you with the super chat. What's good, brother? Nothing much. Raph said, I'm outside all the time. You must be enjoying yourself. But a lot of men are not outside. And I'm assuming you're an older gentleman, so you come from a different area, you come from a different generation. So the way that you view the world is completely different from my generation, right? Because I'm considered Gen Z. So the way that we think about a lot of stuff, the way that we view things, it's all screwed up. Gen Z probably more jaded than the dang on older generations, to be honest with you. we're probably more jaded than than dang on the millennials, dang on Gen X ninja. Yeah, Z made a great point right here. Nothing to do unless you have money. Nothing to do outside unless you have money. The truth of the matter is, entertainment in the United States of America, even if you're going overseas, because you need money to go overseas too. So, but we're just going to stick to America. Uh, you said not true, Moy. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. When you when you really break down the cost of things, and I'm gonna get to that too, Moy. Nothing to do outside unless you have money. The truth of the matter is, in the United States of America, right? The United States of America is turning into only the ones with the money can have fun. Everybody else is working nonstop. Everybody else is ninja. Ain't nobody trying to go to a museum, ninja. Ninja said museum. Ninja ain't nobody trying to go to a museum. Ninja ain't trying to learn nothing. Ninja want to get drunk and party. Ninja, what you talking about? But uh, the only way to really have fun is if you have money, right? If you have money, everything costs, ninja. You go to a bar, ninja, you're gonna spend anywhere depending on the level of the bar, right? Depending on the clientele, depending on the status of the bar, you're gonna spend anywhere between $10 to $18 per drink. $10 to $18 per drink. So let's just say on average, you're gonna spend around $14, $15 per drink. Per drink. And then you don't you want to go out and have a good time? Like, don't you want to talk to women and don't you want to interact with women? Well, shit, that costs too. Women are not going to talk to you unless you buy them a drink. And then, like, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they may not even mess with you like that. They may not even like you like that. So they may just use you for the drink. And then what? Right? You got to realize most men, if not all men, go out to interact with women. Come on now, this been the case since the beginning. Bro, I remember being dang on 16, right? Ready to go to the skating rink, ninja. Right, let me take this off the screen. I remember being 16, just waiting to go to the skating rink on Saturday. Like, yeah, man, all the hoes gonna be up there. Yeah. What schools? Oh, she went to what school? Oh yeah, they had all the big booty girls at that school. Oh, what's oh, she coming from the north side? Oh, all the Latinos on the north side. They're gonna be at the skating rink too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we in there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you said your cousin can buy some alcohol? She they gonna buy us a bottle? Oh yeah, we gonna share with the hoes. Let's go. Let's go. 16 going to the skating rink. That's all we went to the skating. Now we barely even skated, ninja. We was going to talk to the hoes. Men are going out for the hoes. See, Maury, your perspective and my perspective on that is completely different. My perspective and your perspective on this is completely different. We're talking about the regular everyday man who hasn't had their pick of the litter. We're talking about men who don't get punani on a regular. We're talking about men who want to escape, right? I'm beyond that now. I'm in my build a bear stage now. I'm building right now. I could care less about that stuff, right? I've had my pick of the litter, right? I've had many different women. I've done that already. At 29, I've done that already. So now I'm like hyper focused on my goals, hyper focused on what I need to do, hyper focused on building my channel, hyper focused on I'm hyper focused, hyper vigilant on becoming the best man that I can possibly be. You got to realize that the majority of men are not in that headspace. The majority of men are not in that frequency. The majority of men, they're going outside. The ones who are left, ninja, right? They go outside to escape. I understood that trap. I understood that trap long ago. right? I remember I think I was 21 or 22, right? And this is the first time I actually been in the club, right? First time I was in the club, and I'm just, I'm drinking or whatever, and I'm looking around and I'm just looking at everybody. I'm like, I'm looking at the guys who got the tables, right? Because those are where the women flock over. They flock over there to the guys who buy the sections and the tables and stuff. And I'm sitting on the floor, right? I'm on the floor section, right? All the girls flocking to who they flock to, which is the guys with the money, right? I'm looking around. I'm like, dang, this ain't it. This ain't it, right? You try to talk to a chick, and they may spark up a little conversation, but they carry on, right, to a guy that they really want, right? If you don't have no motion, if you don't have no currency, you ain't got no motion. And I'm just looking around. I'm like, dang. I came to my conclusion. I came to my conclusion right then. I'm like, bro, this ain't it. There's no way that I can have fun. I have no motion. I have no hoes. I have no money. Right? I only bought 2 drinks. I can only afford 2 drinks. Them ninjas over there, they got a whole section, all the bad hoes over there. Them ninjas throwing ones, right? They got all the bottles over there, right? I'm over here looking like a dang on peasant, a damsel in distress ninja, right? You got people standing around, women standing around on the walls. Nobody really, the women are not trying to let you get a dance. Right. I remember being 16. Ninja, I remember being the last time I feel like people dance or women wanted to dance on you, right, was when I was a teenager at the skating rink. Ninja, that was the last time actual dances existed, when I was a teenager. But nowadays, Ninja, you can't go to the club and try to get no dance. Ninja, you gonna get slapped, stumped out, Ninja, arrested. Especially if you and if she's not attracted to you. Hey, I remember I was this dude was going through training. The dude was going through training, and one of the trainers were going over him. They was going over the what you call it, harassment. Just because he was a new hire, so they was going over the harassment page or whatever. And he was just like, the trainer was just like, yeah, don't do this and don't do that. And I was just like, yeah, don't do this if she's not attracted to you. And everybody just bust out laughing. I was like, it's true though. I've seen guys get hemmed up. I've seen guys get hemmed up for trying to get at women, and they were ugly ducklings. I'm like, bro, you knew better. You knew not to try that. And those same women be all up in somebody else's face, the guy that she's actually attracted to. But Bebop says, I'm waiting on crypto and then I'm going to fly. Yeah, we still waiting on that crypto. We still waiting on the crypto. I still have my list. Ninja, we're going to talk about that crypto on the Patreon though. We're going to talk about that. I'm gonna give out a few more things. Probably slide it over to the members too though. For the members. Moy says, my heroes are Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci. I just love to create and have deep conversations. Women are cool, but often they do not self-reflect, not truly love philosophy. Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of the game. I've understood that too. Not too many women go into depth. And the reason being, especially if you like the more beautiful women, especially if you like the prettier women, they never had to go into depth because doors were open just because they were pretty. So they never had to self-reflect. They never had to go over their character or fix their character or fix their personality, right? Because especially if they're on the prettier side, they could have a bad attitude and still have their way. Yes, Gursky. They can have a bad attitude and still have their way. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And I have a lot more videos. But I think I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save some of these for reactions. I'm gonna shoot a lot of reactions at y'all too. I'm gonna shoot a lot of reactions to you. But this is just a truth that many of you need to understand. And I'm gonna keep pushing this too. I'm gonna keep pushing this until y'all understand. Right? If you don't get on your P's and Q's right now, there's still time. If you don't get on your P's and Q's right now, you're gonna get your ass left behind. You're gonna get left behind. The economy is changing drastically. Dating and relationships is practically dead. Right? If you get into a relationship or marry one of these modern women, you might as well go ahead and dig your grave. Right? Always says, can these men be saved? Tap. Majority no. And the reason why I say that is because I have some of these conversations in person. And you got to understand, man, when you're vibrating at a higher frequency, and when you start spitting truth like this, people run. People run. When you spit this kind of truth, you break the very fabric of people's realities. Like, I'm being dead serious. The type of truth that I speak, like, this is the after pill, man. If the truth hurts, it hurts. Whatever. It's reality. But when you spit this kind of truth, when you tell people how it actually is, when you tell people, hey, you shouldn't have did that. When you got dudes out here who still trying to get married and like, yeah, I met the girl of my dreams. She's a good girl. Ninja, you 21, Ninja. I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't nothing but that punani that you addicted to right now. I'm telling you. She put that punani on you. You think you in love. That's the only piece of punani you got in like 2-3 years, Ninja. Trust me, I know. Ninjas swear they in love. They swear they doing the right thing. Yeah, Ninja. I gotta make an honest woman. All right, Ninja. They don't want to listen. Right? I tell dudes all the time, listen, this is how you make it. This is what's to come. They'll hear me all day long. But will they act on it? No. They won't act on it. I can give dudes a whole booklet right now on what exactly to do and not to do. And they won't do a damn thing. Right? And I've talked about this previously. You got ninjas who've been in this space. You have ninjas who are in this space, right? In this space for the past 5 to 10 years, ninja. Them ninjas still working at Wally World. Them ninjas still watching Andrew Tate, laughing, hee ha ha. They still watching Byron Gaines, laughing when he tearing people apart. Look at this dumb 304. Ninja still sitting in front of the computer talking about, look at that dumb 304. These dudes are dumb. So no, these dudes cannot be saved. Not the majority of them. If you want to be saved, come over here to the Patreon. The Book of Forbidden Knowledge, episode 3. We on now? I think episode 4. I may be mistaken. But we're dropping episodes over there every week. We're dropping episodes over there every week. You want to get your mind right? Want to build that mental tenacity? Want to hear knowledge that that I'm not really spitting over here? Real deep knowledge that you need to understand and carry yourself with to really make it into this new world. Let's go. Come over to their Patreon. For you nasty boys, hey, hit that link pinned to the top of the chat. Join the locals. Locals videos coming soon. Right? Locals videos coming soon. Listen, we showing faces and all. We showing faces and all. Y'all niggas gonna be like, oh, that what? That one? That one, Ninja? What? She did what? Come on now. Y'all Ninja gonna be like, Tat really be tapping. Y'all gonna be like, Tap really be tapping. It dang, Tap. It ain't no cap in your rap. Tap, dang, really? Really, Tap? Yeah. Yeah. Really, Ninja. I'm like that, Ninja. I'm like that, Ninja. Z says, and if getting married is pointless and there's nothing to do, what's the point even getting the skill and working hard so I can buy a house and build? See, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a prime example of what I'm talking about, Z. This is the mindset. This is the mindset that is amongst a good portion of men, leaning into the majority now. If getting married is pointless and there's nothing to do, what's the point even getting the skill and working hard? So I can buy a house and be alone in it? I'd rather do nothing. See, that's a very destructive mindset. That's a very destructive mindset. That shows me right now that women, your life revolves around women. You're telling me the statement tells me. This is what this statement tells me. That your life revolves around women. Look at Wrath right here. I lost everything 3 times and worked my ass off and bought it all back and better. Bought it all back and better. Now this we're gonna let this be a teaching moment. We're gonna let it be a teaching moment. He probably a young dude, still trying to figure it out. It's a good point. It's a good point, boy. You got to realize a lot of young guys and a lot of guys in general, right? In today's time, they're lost, man. They're lost, right? You got to realize that many of us were raised to put women on the pedestal. Many of us were raised to put women on the pedestal. Many of us were raised to go get a good job so you can take care of a family. That's what we were raised to believe. So you got to realize you got dudes operating in the old program. So we got to install the after pill chip in his head. He still got the old 1900s, 19th century programming in. We got to install. We got to take him through the matrix. We got to go pick him up in the black car. You know, you remember the first Matrix when she was trying to get the dang on thing. She was trying to get the thing out of his stomach. Got to get the chip out of his stomach. Right? But your purpose becomes first before any of this. Your purpose as a man becomes first before any of this. You were put on this earth to labor the land as long as you live. You were put on this earth to labor the land as long as you live. You were put on this earth to build. You were put on this earth to create. Not for a woman. A woman can come into your life, but you wasn't put here to create for a woman. You wasn't put here to build for a woman. There's more to life than just a woman. There's more to get out of life than just women. You can get joy out of life other than women. Right? Women are temporary. Women can be temporary. Right? What you create can be long lasting. Ninja, you can stack your money up enough and build a business and do whatever you want to. And you want it to build a school. You wanted to build a school with your name on it in a local village somewhere in Africa or somewhere, Ninja. Right? Or you wanted to I don't know, Ninja, start your own food bank or something, Ninja. right? Or you wanted to start a course, you wanted to start a school to help students understand AI and automation. Ninja, there's many things to do in life than just women. There's much more impact that you can make in the world than just, oh, if I don't get married, then what's the point? Ninja, there's a whole beautiful uh life to life, Ninja. There's so much to life you probably can't even understand right now. There's so much to life than just, oh, if marriage is pointless, dang, bro, were you living your whole life just to get married? And this is how a lot of these dudes think. They think their whole life revolves around getting married. Find a hobby. Ninja, one travel. Have you ever traveled? A lot of these ninjas, they don't travel. Ninja never put on a backpack, never went camping, ninja. Damn, never started a fire. Ninja, have you been in Boy Scouts, ninja? You ain't never put wood together and started a flame, started a fire, ninja? Dang. Ninja ain't even played football, didn't play sports. Rap said basically Z just wants a mommy government to take care of him. That's where it's going. That's where it's going to. That's where it's going to. But that's a loser way to think, right? Because if you can't get married, then what's the point of life? Then that sounds crazy, bro. That sounds crazy. So hopefully, I talk some sense into you. Because there's more than life than just ninja. Oh, if I don't get married, then what's the point? I have nobody to provide for. You can provide for yourself, ninja. Aren't you a whole grown man? You're supposed to be self-sustaining in the first place. Women were never meant to be self-sustaining, right? Men built up a society to where now women can self-sustain on their own without men. But before, women were never meant to be self-sustaining. That's the reason why they attach themselves to men, right? But now we stay in a different age. They don't have to attach themselves to men because men already built up the society to where everybody can be self-sustaining. So now the questions are starting to arise. Well, if they're self-sustaining, where does that leave us? And that's why a lot of men are in the hump right now. They're in the pits right now because they don't know what their purpose is without women. But here's where tap comes in at. Here's where the after pill comes in at to let you ninjas know that that life is much bigger than just a woman being by your side. Ninja, you can take, bro. Come on now. Shouts out to Aiden Smash. If you make women the main point of your life, you already cook. Yeah, you cook if you do that. You cooked. Yep, I don't camp. They don't fish. They don't hike. They have no life survival skills whatsoever. What's your question, Moy? Said, how do you not know your purpose? How do you not know your purpose? Like, they just said, what the hell is wrong with you? Nah, come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on. As an older dude, you know that once upon a time you were still stuck in a twilight zone trying to find yourself, trying to find out, trying to find where you fit in at. You said not true? Okay, my bad. My bad. Hey, my bad. Yeah, Z gotta be trolling. So my purpose should just have fun. And you know what, Moy? You know what? Some people actually do. Some people actually do know their purpose. Some people actually do know their purpose for a lifetime. I've met some people like that. Some people just know. Some people just know. And some people it take 20 years. Some people take a lifetime. Some people never find it. So, like this dude right here. He's gonna explain this right here to a T.
I don't bond with other human beings very well. I don't care about having friends. I don't care about, having people over at my place. I don't have that need inside of myself that a lot of other people have, that, they always have to have somebody with them. They always have to be in a relationship, or they always have to have homies, or, people to hang out with. I'm just not one of those people. I don't bond with other human beings very well.
That's me. That's me in a nutshell. That's me in a nutshell. I'm like, I've seen enough. I've seen enough, done enough, dealt with a lot, right? To the point where, somebody like me, I thrive in solitude. I thrive in solitude. That's where I come up with the best ideas. That's where I get, some good meditation, right? I thrive in that, right? You learn to thrive in it, especially when people push you away, right? Especially when people push you away, right? They're not accepting, right? They can't they don't understand you, right? Or you just different, you think a different way, right? They're NPCs, right? The majority of people are NPCs, so it's like you can't even bond with them in the first place because they're just out here. Yep, dead weight, ate and smash. Most people just baggage, and it's like, for what? I got enough to think about as it is. I got enough on my plate as it is. Yep, hit that like button. I got enough on my plate as it is. I got enough to think about as it is. I got enough to do as it is. I got a lot of things I'm trying to build as it is. Then I got to worry about you. I got to worry about whether you're trying to backdoor me or not. I got to worry about this, that, and the third, whether other people like me and all this stuff. It's just, man, I just rather not. Right? Most people are going to show you who they are. Most NPCs are going to show you who they are anyway, off the first interactions, because they so programmed. It's insane. They show you their programming right away, and I'm like, yep, that ain't it. NPC. So you got people out here who thrive without friends, who thrive without relationships. That's how a lot of people thrive. And I guarantee you, that's not how he started. That's not how he started. Right? He ended up coming to this conclusion. This is how he ended up. Right? He had to come to this conclusion. He had to come to this understanding. He had to come to this synopsis, ninja. Right? Tap, some guys are afraid to take action. That's really holding many guys back. You got to stop caring what others think. Yeah, because here's the thing too. Just like the Matrix, right? The agents keep the other agents down. They make sure that everybody is an agent. They make sure that you don't rise above. You have people, both men and women, who ensure that other people don't rise above the pack. Right? This is why people like me and people like many of you, right? Y'all don't blend in with most people. Y'all don't blend in with most people. I don't blend in with most people. I stick out like a sore thumb. I can't even blend in if I wanted to. The energy just exudes off of me. It leaks off me. They know they know that you're not an NPC before you, but ninja, they sense you from a mile away. They sense you from a mile away. Right? But anyway, a lot more videos coming soon. some more videos I wanted to show, but I'm just gonna save those for actual video and break those down. I want to break those down on a separate video. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in on this late night stream. Make sure y'all go tap into the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap that link pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you go ahead and sign up for that locals. I guess I don't know what y'all doing in the chat. What's going on in the chat? I don't know what's going on in the chat. Z, I don't know what y'all got going on. Anyway, shouts out to Moy. Shouts out to Wrath. Shouts out to Lottery Guru, Aiden Smash. Shouts out to Bebop. Somebody else was in here that super chat. Who was in here that super chatted? Damian Pottinger, Moy. I appreciate y'all. Raph said, I don't blend it at all. 6'4", 200. Yeah. Yeah, you don't stand. You stand out. Ninja. You stand out amongst 90. Ninja, you taller than 90% of people. 90% of men for sure. But anyway, it's been nice chatting with y'all on this late night stream. What time is it? It's midnight. All right, y'all need to get some sleep. Y'all need to get some sleep, and y'all be ready to jump on this live in the morning. What? Brian Phillips, blue pilled man. What's going on? AI will decide productivity and euthanize the unproductive. Most energy and water is too dedicated to data centers. Data centers, find your place. That's an interesting saying right there, Brian Phillips. Interesting that you said that AI will decide productivity and euthanize the unproductive. I may have to elaborate on that some more. That's very interesting that you said that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Anyway, good night, y'all.